So I'm going to explain the game Turkey Chase or Turkey Attack, I think she called it, and I changed it to Attrapez les pingouins. So I'll share all this link to this Canva on the page. But here's just a few ways that I thought it could be adapted, and then I'll explain what I did. So the objective is to save your penguins and capture other penguins. I wanted to reinforce reading. So we're talking about the home and chores. So I just randomly searched the internet for pictures. So I did like homes for sale in a city. I did homes for sale in Bordeaux. I did Martinique apartments. And then again, just randomly selected rooms. But I did try and cultivate them so that there's something similar, or there's a few elements that are similar in all of them, or similar in two, but maybe not in one of the other ones. So they would really need to read closely to make sure that they got the right one. Okay, so we have the bedrooms and others. So those are the pictures that I chose. Again, not properly cited. Sorry. You might want to find your own if you want to find out where these statements that I just did Google image search. Probably not the best, but that's where I'm at. Then I had this document. Actually, let me go back over here, and you can tell I'm not professional. Here we go. So we have the student document here that I will open that also has everything you need for this activity. So we have the first few pages are what the students are going to receive. So you would photocopy the first 3 pages, staple them together, and you want them. I created 6 penguin groups. You could have as many as you want, as few as you want. I did 6. So I've made 6 copies of this document because there's 1 per group. So the rules, the way I created them, it varies slightly differently from how the teacher presented it in TikTok. And again, that video is shared so that you can see the original creator and then how I adapted it to work for my students for what they needed. So every student takes an envelope. Inside the envelope is one of those sets of pictures. So again, there was 4 pictures on every page except for the Martinique apartments. There was only 3 on those. Everything else has 4 pictures. If you scroll down here, you can see I wrote those descriptions, and I just changed the fonts so that I knew where I needed to cut them and just to kind of differentiate them. So I cut out each of the 3 descriptions. Notice I only described 3 of the 4, and that's kind of where I have my little power up. Okay, so inside an envelope is the picture with the 4 different images on it, and 1 image will not have a description. So if there's 4 pictures on the page, there will be 3 descriptors. For the one that only has 3 images, there are 2 descriptors. So they have to match the description to the picture based on everything. So again, reading closely, differentiating between different things. Reading, right? Input. So then when they are confident that they have matched them correctly, they come to me to check it. If they are correct, they can either do the offense or defense, right? Offense, they can fortify their their penguin pen with 1 line, or they can play defense and attack another penguin pen by erasing 2 lines. Now, the level up. If they want to add an additional fortify line, so maybe they want to attack, but they also want to fortify, they can level up by describing in 3 sentences the image that was not described already. And again, I was being very picky about these. If they were, I was not necessarily looking for spelling, but again, if they had if they were doing the bathroom and there's a bathtub in 2 of the other descriptions, but then they had they wrote bath instead of baignoire, I was like, nope, you don't get your level up on that. So I was being a little picky about that. Again, it's for bonus point. The other way that I leveled this up, if they did not have the correct images matching, I told them that they had to put everything back in the envelope, put that envelope down, and get a new envelope, because I didn't want them just guessing, right? I didn't want them just changing their answers. I wanted them to really think about it and invest in it. So you have to put that one back, get a different envelope, complete that one, then you can go back to the one that you got wrong. So I just wanted them to take a break from it, also to allow other groups to have that particular room so that they're not hoarding one room for the entire time. So again, the student document has those directions in English because you don't want any confusion in English. You don't want them interpreting the directions, particularly at novice mid to novice, novice low, mid, high. You don't want them interpreting the directions. You want them to be very clear. I explain it in French. I explain it in English. So then you see they have the room, and then they have their lines, and then this is if they want that level up. So that's what they get, and then they have all their descriptions down here. So I hope this is an activity that you can take with you. Again, I did very similar to what she did in her presentation, where she had the pictures of the turkeys. I cut these penguins out, drew the squares on the board, and the competition got hot. Like, it was so cool to see the students really working together, working collaboratively. And the group that won ended up having 3 penguins. We had another group that had their penguin like thoroughly fortified, and then we had a couple other groups that lost their penguins. So I hope that helps.